And now new right here tonight, a Louisville mother is suing an online firearms company after she says it sold a gun illegally to her underage son, who then used it to end his life. Hello, everybody. It is our top story on the WHAS 11 night team tonight. I'm Doug Proffitt. The lawsuit claims the company didn't attempt a background check. WHAS 11 night team's Alex Dieterer spoke to the mother, who believes her son would still be here today if it weren't for this website.
Henry is my oldest child, and he was just a beautiful soul. Anybody that knew him seemed to love him.
Just over a month after graduating from Seneca High School, 18-year-old Henry Willis took his own life.
And in his teen years, he began to have significant mental health symptoms, but significantly the 6 months leading up to his death.
On July 6, 2023, Henry bought a ghost gun kit from online Nebraska-based firearm seller Husky Armory. Federal law requires handgun buyers to be 21. On July 30th, after the gun was shipped to his front door, Henry turned the gun on himself.
There just wasn't anybody like him.
His mother, Laura Herp, is now suing Husky Armory and its parent company, Up North Media LLC, alleging the companies were not licensed by the ATF and illegally sold Henry the gun kit without verifying his age or conducting a background check.
Henry's not old enough. He would have failed a background check had he walked into an actual live licensed gun store, given the mental health challenges that he was facing.
Everytown law attorney Eric Tershwell and Louisville attorney Tad Thomas have filed the lawsuit on Herp's behalf.
In January of 2023, the Jefferson County Family Court issued a protective order against Henry. This protective order prohibited him from possessing a firearm.
This was avoidable. And this should not have happened. This sale should not have been made.
Do you believe that Henry would still be here if he didn't have access to a website like this?
Yes, I do. I know he would be struggling, but I think he would be here.
Herp is suing to hold the companies accountable.
Let's fight for things that are important and things that are wrong. And for me, I'm doing it in his honor.
Her family moving forward without their eldest son, hoping to save other families from the pain of losing a loved one. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS 11 night team, on your side.
The firearm companies did not return our request for a statement. The lawsuit has been filed here locally in Jefferson Circuit Court. Moving now to our very hot and humid evening, another one. We are now on the countdown to a cool down and lower humidity. Get this, as we move into August. Our weather really is crazy. And Chief Meteorologist Mallory Snell, so you're telling us our hottest month traditionally looks like it's going to actually start with a cool down.
Right. We're going to head into August on a very nice note. Now, not sure how we're going to end it, but we're going to start it with the influence of this front that's just off to our north. Of course, we've been stuck in this very hot and humid weather pattern since last Thursday with the heat advisories, but pretty much all month with primarily highs in the 90s. We are dry for now. You can take a look at temperatures in Louisville. We're still sitting at 87, but you can see off to our north some 60s, 70s, as well as lower humidity off to our north and northwest. So it's going to take some time. That front will move through tomorrow, and then that cooler air and less humid air will lag behind it, but we will certainly be feeling it by the end of the work week and into the first weekend of August. For tonight, just expect mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, warm and muggy conditions. Can't rule out a very spotty shower or storm, especially in southern Indiana tonight. Otherwise, we stay quiet. Tomorrow, we have a front that's going to swing through the area, and that will bring the chance for some scattered storms midday through the afternoon and into the evening, but not everybody will see rain out of this system. The good news is behind that, temperatures really do plummet, as I mentioned, for Friday and the weekend. I'll let you know when overnight lows will drop down into the 60s. That's coming up in our 7-day forecast. Doug.
Mallory, thank you. We're following a late developing story on the night team around 8 o'clock tonight on Taylorsville Lake in Spencer County. Take a look. Emergency crews responded to this boating accident. Taylorsville and Spencer County firefighters, among other local agencies, say one person was taken to the hospital and is injured. You can see it appears the fishing boat launched right out of the lake and onto the bank and right into the woods. Taylorsville Lake is about 1 hour southeast of downtown Louisville. Also new tonight, diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are being canceled by private companies and universities across the country and in Kentucky. But in the Clifton neighborhood tonight, a Metro Council member isn't giving up, highlighting community safety and inclusion. Tonight, Metro Council member Andrew Owen and the Louisville Office for Women invited the community to take part in what's called the second artist-led night walk. The walk was guided by Louisville poet Robin Gardner. The focus focuses on gathering insights from women and gender diverse individuals about their experiences in public spaces to make District 9 more inclusive. Tonight, we spoke with Gardner to see why these walks are so important.
Because women change things. When we come together as a collective, we are powerful. Women are powerful, and we're changing things. Like, we're just taking walks and we're making it beautiful and we're sending a message.
If you were unable to attend the walk tonight, you can fill out a survey to share your thoughts on safety and inclusion in District 9, that is the Clifton area. You can find the links in the link, by the way, in the links mentioned tab on our WHAS11 website. Right here, new tonight, a warrant is issued for a Kentucky man who was accused of threatening to bomb a Ford Motor Company building. Court documents show 57-year-old William Hebner left a comment on a Ford social media post in May. He said, quote, "After waiting for 2 years on June the 2nd for my retirement, I'm pretty sure I'm going to bomb the building, the people that you outsource my retirement to," end quote. Police say Hebner either retired or quit from Ford and was, quote, likely upset for not receiving his stock cash out from the company. A specific building, by the way, was not named. Hebner is charged with felony terroristic threatening, and an arrest warrant was issued after he failed to appear in Jefferson District Court here in Louisville. Also new tonight, a woman is arrested after stalking her ex-mother-in-law and trying to give her a serious allergic reaction with peppers. Metro Police arrested 34-year-old Tiffany Gregory on Monday after months of alleged stalking and harassment. Court documents say Gregory picked up 2 children and told them to stomp on bell peppers and place the crushed peppers inside a birthday bag. One of her friends placed the bag on the victim's car. Gregory knew she was severely allergic to bell peppers and created a serious physical injury. Gregory is charged with multiple felonies. She was arraigned Wednesday morning. A judge has set her bond at $25,000. Brand new on the night team, LG&E wants to keep using a coal-fired plant in Louisville. LG&E had expected to retire the Mill Creek plant in southwest Jefferson County in 2 years. Now they want it to stay online until 2031. The power company says this is to keep up with the state's growing power demand. WHS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester spoke to a longtime Kentucky Natural Resources group about the change.
LG&E's Mill Creek Power Generating Station off Dixie Highway in southwest Jefferson County. Hard at work, this 57-year-old plant was set to be taken offline by the utility in 2027. That's now changing if the request is approved.
The coal-fired power plant will operate now 4 years longer than anticipated, until 2031. It is a part of a stipulation agreement or a plan LG&E and KU says is to meet Kentucky's growing energy needs.
The power company wants to add 2 new natural gas units, install more battery storage, and upgrade environmental technologies for a coal plant in Carroll County. Why? LG&E and KU cites unprecedented economic growth in the Commonwealth as the reason. Mill Creek's coal plant will stay open until both natural gas units are expected to be complete.
It's over 50 years old at this point.
Byron Gary, an attorney with the Kentucky Resources Council, an independent environmental conservation organization.
The reason that the closure was previously approved was because it was not any longer the most economical resource for providing power for people here in Louisville or LG&E and KU territory generally.
Sees this announcement as an equity problem.
This will be a expensive hit to ratepayers down the line when they come back to recover the rates that are necessary to keep this aging facility online longer.
LG&E and KU has applied with their plan with what's called a Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity and await approval. Gary says in a previous hearing, the power company said the power generated from this plan is to serve new data centers coming to the area. He added LG&E said they already had enough options to generate power for a data center planned for Cane Run Road.
These are investments that are being made for data centers that they haven't signed a single electric service agreement with yet. We don't know what those data centers are going to be paying.
LG&E told us earlier in the week rates will not increase due to the Cane Run Road data center, and claims other industrial power usage like the Blue Oval SK battery plant are driving an increase in power demand. A step back to coal-powered energy in line with the Trump administration push. In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 team on your side.
The Mill Creek request must be approved for environmental permitting. The hearing on LG&E's request, by the way, is coming up this Monday and will be held in Frankfort. President Donald Trump today made it clear he is not extending a deadline for countries to come up with a trade deal, warning countries who haven't made their trade deals with America that they'll face steep tariffs come this Friday. The cost of everyday goods, from shoes to electronics, are already up at local stores we found in Kentuckiana today. The owner of Scott's Mobile Electronics in Jeffersonville says he'll have to raise his prices 15 to 20%.
It's stressful to watch that the product keeps going up, and eventually, once it gets so high, we are a luxury product. We're not something you have to have. So this is going to be something that's going to get cut out of your budget faster than something else.
UPS, with its major world port based in Louisville, reporting a 3% decrease in revenue and a 9% dip in operating profit compared to this time last year. The company noting its most profitable trading business line is from China to the U.S. The company also announcing this week that they're now offering a special package a special retirement package to car drivers. It's a special buyout to leave the company. Well, that interest rate for home mortgages not budging anytime soon. The Federal Reserve announcing today it is holding interest rates steady. They are not lowering the rates at this time, something President Donald Trump has been pushing to see happen. It's been 7 months since interest rates were adjusted. The federal funds rate stands between 4.25% and 4.5%, preserving much of a sharp increase imposed in response to a pandemic-era bout of inflation. The Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says he would like to see how those tariffs will affect inflation before making any changes to interest rates.
Higher tariffs have begun to show through more clearly to prices of some goods, but their overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen.
The choice to hold off on a rate cut will almost certainly result in further conflict between the Federal Reserve and President Donald Trump. By the way, we checked, and tonight Bankrate reports that the current average for a 30-year fixed home mortgage interest rate, it stands right now at 6.76%. The Grassroots Collaborative West Louisville Dream Team making an offer to buy the NIA Center in West Louisville for $2.1 billion. It's the latest development in a months-long battle between small businesses, and they face to keep their storefronts in the building at 29th and Broadway, which is currently owned by Tark. It's also something that Metro Council member Shamika Parrish-Wright is fighting to see happen.
I think $1 million is a reasonable ask for a city council, and then also investors in this city should be running to the West Louisville opportunity.
If we as a community do this,
Yes, we can do anything.
we can do anything.
That's Bishop Dennis Lyon speaking there. Now, Sean Spencer, who is leading the charge on buying the property, is expecting rent to slightly increase for tenants if the purchase goes through. 1 week from tomorrow, it's back to school for JCPS. That'll be Thursday, August 7th. In a brand new update today, JCPS answered the biggest question from you. How are those school buses this time around? Well, JCPS says it's got enough drivers, but Metro Police, they're still short on crossing guards, and they supply the crossing guards to the intersections. And with school buses back on the road, remember, it is illegal to blow past those stop signs that come out on the side of the buses. Driver Jeffrey Pennick says it happens at least 5 times every day.
That's one of the scariest things too, because your door's open, your kids are getting ready to go off, and you see this car coming down the side, and you're like, whoa, I shut the door, told them, hey, let's wait a few minutes, and I'm looking in my mirrors, and then we'll let them off.
JCPS Superintendent Brian Yearwood says cameras are now recording in all school buses to catch any lawbreakers. He also said to expect long car rider lines on the very first day.